This Raw Vision video is brought to you by Metro Solar, proud partner of the Richmond Football Club. G'day Tiger fans, welcome to the Spotlight on round 13, brought to you by Metro Solar. And the Tigers head up to Sydney. It's Friday night footy again up there at the SCG to take on the mighty Swans. Brendan Lade's already on the plane, so we've been joined by Max Bailey again. Max, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me again.
What do you think, mate? It's a massive challenge, isn't it, always heading up to the SCG?
Yeah, it is, and we haven't played there for maybe 2 years, I think, so we're hoping, well, I think you're going to touch on it later, our Interstate record's pretty good, so we're hoping that holds intact.
What did you learn from last week, Max?
Probably the West Coast are a really good team. Probably underrated. We don't get to see a hell of a lot of here in Victoria, but they're a really good side and they've coped really well without a lot of key players. Yeah,
it was a good win by the Eagles. We need to try and bounce back this week, so let's have a look at the team. And one thing I'm really disappointed about in this week's team is Corey Ellis has gone out with that injury. It's disappointing for the young fella.
Yeah, it is. It was good to see him stringing some games along together and starting to do some really, really good things. At the same time, maybe it gives him a chance to freshen up because this time of the year can be a bit arduous for some of those younger guys.
Yeah, it does take its toll first-year players, and Corey didn't do a pre-season at all, so it was probably going to get him at some stage.
I think so, and there's probably going to be planned rests for him along the way, so maybe at some time it's going to be a blessing in disguise.
Well, let's have a look at the day-call match-up for this week, and it's a pretty obvious one. Alex Rance v Buddy Franklin. He's probably the best forward in the competition still, I would say, Max. And Rance's got a pretty good record on him, and they've played on each other quite a lot over the years.
Yeah, they have. Rance's got a great record on him. So, like you said, probably the best forward in the comp against the best defender in the comp. Yeah. And hopefully Alex will be buoyed by his re-signing. So, yeah, it looks to be a really good matchup. Like, you probably would have seen Djakovic and Carey back in the old days. This is probably the modern-day version. One
thing you notice with Franklin is he gets so much of the ball in the contested situations. That makes him so hard to stop.
Yeah, he's so versatile, I guess, in that he can be thrown up the ground and then brought back into the forward line, and he's just something we've never seen probably since you, mate. Yeah. So,
come on, I don't think so. He doesn't take a lot of marks for a big man. He does so much work at ground level, and that's why people can't match up on him.
Yeah, and probably why Alex is a good matchup for him, because athletically we know he is so great.
Yeah, he certainly is. Dan Hanbury is in sensational form. I reckon he's having a career best year, Hannah's, and he's averaging over 30 touches a game. And because of his gut running, he gets nearly 20 uncontested each week. It's hard to stop that sort of stuff.
It is, and you probably look at his teammates who are helping him out in Jack and Parker and Kennedy as well. So you can't look after them all, and there's going to be guys who get out, and he's been fortunate enough that it's him.
He plays out on the wing a fair bit, so it might be an Ellis type that goes to him, do you think?
Quite possibly. Brandon's got the tank to go with him, but so does Camden, and Camden's that taller player who may be able to help with the contested stuff too.
You just mentioned their inside midfielders, and Luke Parker is one of those. And I think the thing that he does so well, Max, is that he goes forward and takes marks. He does rest down there, but he takes a lot of marks when he's actually on ball, so that'll be something you'll be looking out for.
Definitely. He's a genuinely good player, and he's snuck under the radar for a while, but I think teams and people in general are really taking notice of him.
And he takes contested marks in particular. So what do you do there? Do you have to roll over on him when he gets forward because of that ability to mark overhead? Yeah,
definitely. I think we'll see guys like maybe Jake Batchelor or Dylan Grimes go to him because they are good defenders. We wouldn't probably want to see our mids down there trying to defend him.
Absolutely. Yeah, in one game this year he had 30 and kicked 5, which not many people do. Hey, our interstate record, Max, is really good. And if you have a look at it this year, we've won 3 out of 4, beaten Brisbane, Port and Fremantle. I'm actually not counting that North Melbourne one because last time I checked, they're not from Tassie.
We're happy not to count that as well.
Yeah, it's just remarkable, and I think it's 12 out of 16 over the last few years. But it's hard to put a finger on what it is. But it's really good feather in our cap to be able to do this.
It is, and it's probably the culmination of a lot of little things. So Peter Burge and his fitness staff are doing a great job at preparing the guys as well as they can, and full credit to the players that they're taking the same mentality as they would here over interstate.
We actually get good support in the state too, the Tiger fans everywhere. I don't know if that makes a difference, but it's pretty good that we can do this.
Yeah, it definitely helps when you got a bit of support and not all the abuse getting yelled at you over the fence.
Yeah. The Tiger fans were pretty happy on Saturday morning, Maxie, when they picked up the paper and Alex Rance had re-signed, but I couldn't believe this decision. I just want you to give me something on it because this can't be a free kick, surely. He's just gently giving it back.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I don't know. You wouldn't like to see them get paid too many times. Alex is an emotional guy, and footy can be an emotional game. So
he actually handled it pretty well, I thought. Once he found out it was going to be a free kick, he could have gone right off his banana, but he didn't. But how important a re-signing is this for the club and the future?
That's huge. He's a player you can build a team around. So to have his, not only as because of his playing ability, but his impact in the locker room, he's such a good character to have. And
you need that, don't you? Like around the club, you know, you do a lot of hard work, and you need players down there that can just bring everyone together and lighten things up at times.
Absolutely, footy can be, you know, particularly this time of year, pretty mundane at times. So to have someone goofing around like Alex does is always good.
Now, Maxie, I'm not sure if you get on Twitter, but I thought that I'd announce to the footy world that the Tross man had resigned.
Yeah, I was reading it and I couldn't believe it.
Now, do you reckon they missed me on Twitter when I said that? I got absolutely caned, Max, so I thought, okay, I'll fix this up. So I checked myself and came back in and just let him know that he's actually re-signed. But I've actually clanged that one up as well.
How did you go at high school with English?
Not very good, Max. Oh, I am hopeless. I don't think I'll just get off Twitter from now on. But it is great Rance has stayed at the club. We look forward to watching him for years to come. Max, thanks for joining us. What have the VFL got this weekend?
We've got Williamstown at the ME Baker Centre on Saturday at lunchtime. So we had a much better showing last week at Footscray and hoping we can do much the same this week.
Beautiful. At the ME Centre on Saturday. That one is at 12. All Richmond fans up in Sydney, get to the game tomorrow night. Friday night footy at the SCG. Thanks for joining us. That's been the Spotlight on round 13.